Well, hello there, boys and girls. I am Rasashi, and I'm here to explain to you how the 420 ARK cluster transfer system works here on our cluster server. Now, this transfer system is a little different from what most ARK players are probably used to, and it's brand new features that are here. But dragons don't spawn on the island, and as you can see, I am on the island. So, how did I get this dragon here? How did I get gear that isn't... You have to be on the Scorched Earth map to even learn these engrams. So how did I get them? I will show you. So let's pop down on here to Red Rider. It's close. Let's go to the ARKs. The ARK transfer system is very unique in making cluster servers, so players can enjoy multiple maps within the same community, and creates a very versatile type of gameplay for server setups. For example, this server, 420 ARK cluster, is a cluster server of 3 servers: the island, the center, and Scorched Earth. Here on the island, it's just plain PvP. You can build creatively, work as a survival, solo, or even a tribe. Or you can use this map as a safety platform to as a booster to supplies, mounts, tames, breeding, armament, and take it on over to the center, which is a more milder PvE PvP. Or even go the step further, build factories here and create a stockpile to supply your armies on Scorched Earth, which is PvP, hardcore, balls out, no holds barred, 24/7, kill or be killed. It's a great way to, have a bunch of extra stuff and not have to worry about getting wrecked and having super amounts of downtime. Even if you're solo, you can come back to your stockpile that's safe and sound here on the island and go over to Scorched Earth and start all over again. So you can get raided or be raided multiple times in a single day and have fun with friends or strangers even. It's a great way to speed up the gameplay process without totally breaking the game. Now this server has multipliers to modify the game experience, so you get resources a lot faster. We also have ARK on the PvP map, so you won't get offline raided, because that's never fun. And offline raids are kind of a joke. So, this is the ARK terminal. The tribute terminal, this screen here, you will never, ever, ever use. At the very top of this terminal, there is a little switch that says Transmit ARK Data. Right there at the top. You're going to be clicking that button. It's going to open up this menu. It says ARK Data. Add items to ARK. You're going to go over here to your item menu and click everything. Your implants don't move, and some map specific items and mod items will not transfer. Like the Pet Finder, for example. We have a Pet Finder mod on the 420 ARK server cluster, and it does not transfer. Items like coal that are map specific because it summons the Dodo Rex cannot be moved. For this Christmas update, I found that out and I'm very disappointed, because I was going to spam the Santa on all our maps and it won't work. Now, although items will transfer with your character, it's not 100%, so for the sake of this demonstration, I will transmit things that don't matter, like this primitive chainsaw and this rotted meat. I will, however, disarm everything I have on a PvP server or on a ARK platform that is less secure. This will be a little more tricky, so I would suggest keeping a weapon in here until the last transfer so you're ready to go on a more difficult map like Scorched Earth. On the ARK cluster server is a server rule and understood that you will not be able to build bases around the ARK platforms. If you notice, I have a little hut here, and there are little beds all over some of the platforms. That is not allowed. You're not allowed to block these off because everybody needs to be able to get to these. However, you can use drops to use the exact same fashion. I forgot my shoes. So now I've transferred all of this ARK inventory. All these buttons that you see right here, you're going to ignore one of them. The upload survivor data. Never ever use this one. It will upload your character with no data, leaving you in the void. So when you travel to another server of ours in the cluster, it will cause another character creation. So you will lose that character. You will create a new one, and it will create problems with logging in and logging out. Now, for creatures, any inventory in a creature will be dropped when you upload the creature. So you got to make sure there's nothing valuable in here. Now, the saddle is something you're going to want to move out because it will also drop in the bag. Don't worry, when it drops, it doesn't disappear. You can pick it up within 5 minutes like a normal bag drop. Transfer the saddle back into the ARK plat data. And I forgot to leave in the test materials. There we go. Alright, so all of it is in. Then, for the creature, even just as easy. Upload creature data. Remember, never survivor data. It will list all the mounts that are on the pad that belong to you. The inventory and the list of tames is player specific. Even if you're in the same tribe as somebody, the only one that can see this information is the player. This is quite literally a Switzerland safe deposit box. You have 24 hours the moment you hit the upload buttons or transfer it over to retrieve these items. And to show you, if I click download creature data, it is right there. So, very, very, very convenient. Now, for the second part, that's item upload. We're going to do travel. So, on the top right of the screen, there will be probably a new button that you've never seen before. It says travel to another ARK. Now, that button gets the fun rolling. So, we're going to travel to the Scorched Earth map. Now, these are the servers that are in our cluster. Another cluster of servers, there may be more, maybe less. The map you select on our server, because of the way the transfer system is working currently, ARK will disconnect you. It's very unfortunate. And there's not a whole lot we can do on server side. So, you will transfer, and it will be completed. The button you press says Join with Survivor. And you're going to travel to the selected ARK. Now keep in mind, when you travel, if you ever disconnect from a server in the cluster, you must reconnect to that same server, or you will again create another character. Now it's not a big problem if you're trying to start over, but then it will cause problems when spawning in and out. So if you end up logging out of a map that you previously logged out of without logging back in, you will end up having two characters on that map. So it will cause spawning problems. So be very careful, because our admin will have to go in and delete extra characters. It's a little bit of a difficult process, but our admin is boss. So as you can see, the loading screen brings you up. Whoa, there's a sandstorm going on in the background. Gotta wait for this thing to load. So, you can see I'm at Scorched Earth. This is the Scorched Earth map, Scorched Earth spawn points, and I want to spawn in at my... well, I guess I thought there was more than one. I guess not. I want to spawn here. Now, when I click this Spawn Survivor, I'm going to spawn right in. But this screen that you see right here, that's the troublesome thing. You get disconnected. And you get the following error message. Give it a second. There we go. Outgoing reliable buffer overflow. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what that means. But it has something to do with the way it reconnects you to the map. And for some reason, the network just can't handle it the way the server maps are put together. Now, maybe it'll be fixed in the future. I hope it can. Our admin is very diligently working on this inconvenience, but it's very easy to rectify. I already know I was trying to go to the Scorched Earth map, so I simply hit accept, join ARK, go down here to my survivors, and select Scorched Earth. Oh shit. Let's refresh that. That's not good. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so there is an issue with my client. Normally, when connectivity issues happen, it happens with your client. So, I'm glad I'm showing you all guys this, because transferring doesn't always go smoothly, unfortunately. But usually, the map would just show up, I could click Scorched Earth, join, I would spawn in, not a problem. If you have beds placed down, it basically logs you out right where you spawned in on the bed. So you spawn right back in on your bed, so you don't have to worry about the cooldown timer. So that kind of sucked a little bit. And I'm going to be restarting my client and seeing if I can get that list back up. In the meantime, there are a few do's and don'ts that you should know about. Alright, client's back up. So let's see what we can see. Yep, like I said, it was client side. A lot of these connectivity issues that a lot of players have been seeing, and it's not just with this particular issue with traveling, it's connectivity anyway. So the servers, if they go down, they go back up really quickly. Our admin is always on top of it. So if you see any kind of weirdness, just restart your client. It's usually client side. So we're going to join the SE because that's where I spawned in earlier when I was DC'd. And this is always the most intense part. By intense, I mean not fun. But who does like loading screens? I like to take the opportunity to go get drinks. The only downside that I can see to ARK transferring is the length of time it actually takes to reload a new map and mods that a server might have. If a cluster server has a plethora of mods, this actually could take a few minutes to even transfer to, but it usually doesn't take any more than, like, I've waited maybe 2 minutes maximum. And most of the time waiting is loading the map. As you can see at the bottom left, it started loading halfway through because it loaded most of the map already. Explore Note's pretty cool. You get little buffs. Oh snap, it is dark as shit. It's a good thing that I'm in a little house. Wow. I literally can't see nothing. And I got squat in my inventory. Let's see here. Oh, but I do have a chainsaw and the rotted meat, so it did go with. But I need to stress that is semi-unreliable. Even though it is reliable right now, it very well could be unreliable tomorrow. So, let's see if I can find my door. That's got to be the door because the red obelisk is shining through. There's the door. Huh. I could raise the gamma. The gamma on this server has been enabled, so you can adjust it. I like about 4.5 when it's pitch black like that, so I can see. Although it kind of does take the fun out of it. Oh, shit. There is the moment I was waiting for. I have 300 melee, so that wasn't too bad, and my health is like way up there. That sucked a lot. Okay, so let's go get a weapon right quick. This is the tricky part. When you do spawn in, you get very little time to get your shit. So my very prime directive is to get weapons in my inventory ASAP. So I'm going to be adding these weapons directly into my inventory. Now, don't worry about the elements right quick, because you can solve from them. Check your perimeter. I don't think there's any more that's going to bug me. And you can go up here to transmit ARK data, retrieve the rest of your information, and download your creature data. Now, I'm going to go back to the center, or to the island map, because I got shit to do. And it's basically repeating the same process over and over whenever you want to transfer to a different ARK. But be sure, when you do, create yourself a little place around the edges of the platforms on our servers and put a little bed in there so you can spawn right in. And if there's one nearby, which there is, I will show you exactly how convenient these drops can really be. And this will conclude the tutorial for the 420 ARK cluster transferring. Just hope I don't run into any baddies while I'm up here. Alright. Let's turn down that gamma. Alright. As you can see at the top, it still says transmit ARK data. And you can do the exact same, pull and retrieve. I can even download my creature if I wanted to. But I'm going to travel to another ARK. And we're going to go back to the island. Just the same. Super convenient. Saves you a lot of time if, like, oh, I need to go to get this thing, and oh my, there's a drop right here. And if the drop's got more than 50 health, feel free. And any items you put in there, even if it disappears, you just go either to a terminal or another drop and get them. So it's literally a Switzerland safe deposit box. It's really great and convenient. I look forward to seeing you all on the 420 ARK cluster server. We have a lot of great players, a lot of fun people. Even though we're murderific on Scorched Earth, we're very friendly, and we all kind of work together on the island because we want to perpetuate the consistent gameplay that is offered through this type of method on the island, from the island to the center map and Scorched Earth. I think we're already up to dragon trading on our servers. Trading dragon eggs is lucrative. That's where I got my Ascendant Assault Rifle from, I think. Alright, we're here on the island, and with that I conclude. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me with this tutorial, and I hope you found it very